Hey you guys, this is Rafael from ShilohRelics.com. Hope you're having a good day. I hope you remember that you're loved, and I hope everything is going your way and your way only. Today we're going to talk about an interesting gun from a very special place in America. When you look at this gun, it looks like a standard military Model 1842 gun except shrunken down. It's a lot different than that, and it had a really cool destination, and I'll tell you all about that in just a minute. The gun itself is officially known as a U.S. Model 1851 Cadet percussion musket. And they were made, just like it sounds, to go to cadets at military academies. Some of these were actually even sent to Virginia Military Institute in Lexington, Virginia. Hey to all my friends that are up in that area, and if you graduated from VMI, you're lucky because that's an amazing place. The guns themselves fire a .57 inch caliber bullet, 57/100ths of an inch from the full length 40 inch barrel. They look almost identical to the US Model 1842 Cadet musket, except they changed the lock. The lock in these actually is almost identical to the US Muscatoon Model 1847 lock plate. So that's the difference. On the lock plate, you see the Springfield arsenal, because it's made in Springfield, Mass., and it'll also have the production date. In front of that hammer on the gun, it'll have the Union Eagle as well as the US stamping. The barrel, like we said, was 40 inches when it originally was designed, and they made the 4,000 of them. In 1855, something happened that changed military use for muskets in a way that was amazing, and it was brought about by the Secretary of War. He gets a lot of the credit for it, who happened to be Jefferson Davis. Jefferson Davis was Secretary of War in 1855, and he realized that, he and other people realized that you need to standardize the size, because they were firing so many different sizes. You had 69 calibers, and you had 58 calibers, and some were doing different calibers. They realized that it needed to be standardized, and so what he did, he not only standardized the size where possible, he also wanted to strictly implement rifling. And rifling, as we've talked about before, are the lands and grooves in the barrel that allow, when you shoot that bullet, it spins and it's a lot more accurate. This gun was sent somewhere special. On the top of the barrel band, the back barrel band, and that's just what holds the barrel onto the stock, it has this little number. That little number is the most important mark on this whole gun. That lets us know that this is one that went to West Point Military Academy. West Point Military Academy is a premier military school in the U.S. It had amazing people come from there. It had amazing people attend there. It had amazing people that taught there, including Robert E. Lee, including U.S. Grant. It had, it's the school. And for all of my friends that graduated from there, thank you, and I appreciate you. We know that it went there for a couple of reasons. They, in 1857 and 58, wanted those cadets that were going to be leading in the future to be used to rifled guns. They were, at that time, they didn't receive any of the 51 models. They were still using an 1842 that was basically the same gun. They wanted rifled ones so they could teach those cadets about rifled guns. This is what they got. So we know, because of that little number right there, that this is one of the guns that were rifled. They put the rifling in it. They added a long-range rear sight like that onto the breech of the gun. And if you notice, the end of the ramrod on the earlier ones, where they were firing just a smooth ball, a smooth musket ball, didn't need a cup in the end of the ramrod. It was just flat, because all you were doing was pushing a ball down the barrel. See that little dish like that? That's so you could push that rifled bullet down the barrel. So, makes a lot of difference to a collector that it's one that went to West Point. They say only a couple, 300 of them went to there. According to the records, there were 341 of them that were altered to rifle at Springfield. And one might assume that all 341 of them went there. We know this one did, and it's 203. So, we have a cool gun. This one, when it left the armory, would have been bright. Some of them had blue and some of them had brown finish. These were all bright. And it still has a pleasing look. The barrel's full length, it has rifling. At the breech, you can still see the original production date of 1853, like this, stamped into the barrel. And it's stamped that because that's when it was made. It would have been rifled a couple of years later when they were taking them, getting them ready for West Point. And you also have the Eagle stamp, and you have the V&P, where it was viewed and proof at so they would know it was a good enough quality that they could use. These guns are neat. I've only had a couple of them over the years. Just got this one in. Hopefully it will be on the website by the time you guys are watching this, but if not, it'll be shortly after. And you can own it. You can have a gun that we know went to West Point because of that 203. I hope that you have enjoyed this, because this is one that I was excited about getting to share with you guys. I bought it specifically for the reason of getting to share it with you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful time. I hope that you remember that everyone that you encounter deserves respect. Everyone that you encounter, it doesn't matter if they're white, if they're black, if they're brown, if they glow in the dark. If you meet them, you ought to be nice to them, because you never realize that could be the person that will end up being your best friend. I love you. I hope you know that. I hope you're kind to each other. And remember, I appreciate each one of you. If you need me, I'm here. I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll catch you next time.